Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about what a lot of people call quote-unquote making the rage outdated. Now, making the rage outdated is pretty much just a phrase that describes a really slammy tactic that companies use in order to get all of their greedy wishes to come true, while tricking customers and loyal fans and all that good stuff into thinking that the company still actually cares about them. Now, the best way to kind of explain this is to just give a hypothetical scenario. So say we have company, I don't know, Give Me More Money Inc., and they make video games, and they're making a new game called Battle Duty Call of Field Battle or something, and they want to make as much money as possible from the game as they possibly can. So they do a crap ton of research and discover that the #1 way to make the most amount of money in their game is to have loot boxes with cosmetics in them. But they know, however, that people really do not like loot boxes because of, all of the controversy that's been going around there, and, Star Wars Battlefront and all that good stuff. And, people don't like gambling in their games, and people want to just pay money for what they want rather than pay money to get a chance at what they want. But they know, however, that the #1 way to make the most amount of money is to use these loot boxes. So they know people hate the loot boxes, but sometimes some people can tolerate them if it's all just cosmetic, like in Overwatch. As long as the loot boxes have no pay-to-win features. So Give Me More Money Inc. knows that if they launch with just loot boxes as well, people are going to be mad because another game with loot boxes, and although they're cosmetic only, people are still going to be really, really mad. So what they try to do is they, quote-unquote, try to make the outrage outdated. So they announce that they're going to have loot boxes, and there will be awesome new pay-to-win guns in it. It's going to have these awesome guns that you'll only be able to find in loot boxes, and they're saying it's because the sense of pride and accomplishment of earning the loot boxes and getting new guns, and it adds replayability value and all that good stuff. And, they just piss off some fans. And so the, community is outraged. They're going all on social media and Reddit and, all this stuff, and just talking about how awful this game's going to be, how terrible the payment model is, all of this stuff. And they're, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, just give us loot boxes just with cosmetics only. We would be fine with loot boxes just only as long as they're cosmetics, because they want their new exciting game to, be fun, and they don't want it to be awful. So they're like, okay, if you gotta have loot boxes, just give us cosmetics only. We'll be fine with loot boxes if you just give us cosmetics only. So then they, because they just don't want pay-to-win features. So the company then announces that after listening to passionate fans and after making a lot of decisions and talking and, all of this stuff, they really want to, listen to the fans and communicate with the community, and they've decided to take pay-to-win features out of loot boxes and make new guns only behind challenges so everyone can get them. And the fans are ecstatic. They actually made a difference. They did all of this stuff. They had their voices be heard, and the developers actually changed it, and it's only going to be cosmetic. There's not going to be pay-to-win features at all. They're all going to happily now buy the game, even though it still has slimy loot boxes. Everyone's going to be eating up all of the loot boxes, and the Give Me More Money Inc. is happy because they now have made a game with loot boxes that the fans are happy with. They're happy that they put loot boxes in the game because they created the illusion that they actually cared and listened to the fans. So by originally saying something really, really bad, like, oh, we're going to have pay-to-win features in the loot boxes, and the fans were mad, and they're just like, come on, just don't make the game pay-to-win. Just put cosmetics in. We'll be happy with loot boxes. They're like, okay, we'll put loot boxes in, only cosmetic, and they seem like this awesome community, this awesome developer that listens to their community. They listen to feedback. They're all passionate gamers, and they want to make the game that they want to make. You hear that all the time when developers are talking about their games that they're making. They're like, we're really making this game not for, to sell, but we're making a game because we wanted to play a game like this, so we're making a game like this. And you hear that all the time, where in reality, maybe the developers are like that, but definitely not the publishers that are in charge with all of the payment models. And kind of going into that, before I even want to continue with this video, I want to clarify something. 99.99% of all of the time, anytime there's a scummy payment model or, some scummy microtransaction or controversy like that, anytime that stuff is put into a game, 99% of the time, it's not the developer's fault. It's the publisher's fault, or the suits, you know, from higher up that are, you know, shareholders, and they're all rich, and they're just trying to find, you know, the, you know, best way to make more money. And most of them probably don't even really know what video games are. They just know what money is. And so almost 100% of the time, it is not the developer's fault. I can promise you that. And like for Star Wars Battlefront 2, as much as, you know, we all like shitting on the game because, you know, the payment model, and it deserves to, because they made a really scummy move trying to do all of that. But some of the developers were getting death threats. So, I mean, first of all, giving someone death threats for almost any reason is completely not okay. Just, it's not. And you're a very bad human being if you think it's okay to give people death threats, especially over a video game type of thing. And second of all, even if you are messed up and you think that giving death threats is okay around something like this, you were giving them to the wrong people. All of these developers, you know, that were on Twitter and stuff, that are just developing the game and trying to be really passionate about making the game, they're the ones getting death threats, and their families are getting death threats, and that's not even the person that's making the decision. So just imagine that. You're working passionately with a team of people that you're very passionate about, and you make a game, and you're continuously working on it, and people out of your control, they decide to screw up the game, and there's this huge controversy, and now everyone is just sending you and your family death threats. I mean, like I said, first of all, death threats are way not okay already. I mean, that's just not okay. But they actually 100% did not deserve those. So I just want to kind of put that out there. Anytime really anything happens, just as a good kind of life advice and human being advice, don't give people death threats. That tends to not be a very good idea, especially when it comes like something like video games, because we're all gamers here. We all like being passionate about video games, but I mean, this is getting a little too serious. But going back to the kind of main topic of this video is a lot of developers, or not developers, I'm already not doing what I just said you shouldn't do, but a lot of companies really like this tactic because, like I said, they get exactly what they want, and the community thinks that they're this best developers ever, and they listen to their fans and stuff like this. And Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a really good example of this because, you know, although I think it went a little too far because now they can't even have microtransactions, I think it went a little bit worse than what they were expecting. You know, there were a lot of people saying like, hey guys, you need to be careful of this because, you know, especially like at the beginning, they definitely tried to do it when it was the heroes. The heroes were taking like 50 hours to get, and they're like, okay, fine, we'll lower it down, we'll lower it down. And then, you know, even now they're like, okay, we're going to take microtransactions out of the game. They're no more, and, you know, they might come back in the later dates. And now we're finding out, yep, they are coming back. So they're still getting exactly what they wanted. They're still going to have loot boxes in the future. I think Star Wars Battlefront 2, they kind of pushed their luck a little bit more, and the community acted out a lot worse than they thought it did, and so they kind of had to pull back further than they wanted. But loot boxes are still going to come back. They still sold a lot of copies of the game, and it's very, you know, it's pretty much for the most part okay for them. One example I'd love bringing up is Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I've said it before and I've said it again. I am in love with Rainbow Six Siege right now. I'm playing it. I mean, it's easily one of my most played games right now. But recently they announced, kind of with the new event of Rainbow Six and the new operation, there's going to be these loot pack things, you know, these alpha packs, which are just loot boxes. And you can't earn them with in-game currency. You'll be able to get, like, you know, a couple of them, but you have to buy them with real money, and they have exclusive, you know, stuff, an exclusive alternate thing for one of the elite skins, all this really cool, awesome, exclusive, timed exclusive stuff. And I've talked about timed exclusive stuff before in like a seasonal event video, so if you've watched that, you already know my opinions on all that stuff. But people got mad for a lot of reasons, and a lot of very valid reasons. One of the reasons is they were removing one of the basic standard editions of the game and making it, you either had the starter edition, which is awful, for $15, I've talked about that before as well, or a $60 edition, and they got rid of the $40 edition and stuff like that. And just a lot of other issues with the game, and a lot of people were mad. So what they came back, they're like, okay, you know, we talked with our community, and we're going to give everyone that's played the game before the event comes out the Twitch Elite skin. That's only $15. And a lot of people were okay with that. They were also returning the standard edition back, and a lot of people were okay with that. The outrage was outdated. But the fact is loot boxes with timed seasonal events are still coming into the game, and they're still going to have timed, seasonal things, and you're only going to be able to buy them with real money. So a lot of the root issues of the problem are still there. They just made the outrage outdated by kind of fixing it a little bit. And main point of this video is I kind of just want you guys to pay attention to this kind of shit and not let it slide when it does happen, because obviously it's kind of scummy when a company can get exactly what they want while being praised as a god. I see the the dev team for Rainbow Six Siege is amazing, and I love the fact that there's so many community managers. Constantly they're popping into Reddit threads and everything, and I love it. But it doesn't stop the fact that Rainbow Six is it just has iffy payment model. It has a very icky payment model, and I don't like it as much as I like the game. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Just wanted to, like I said, kind of make you guys more aware of what's going on. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about this kind of stuff. And side note, reason why uploads have been not fully on schedule is because of the fact that apartment is happening. I'm moving into a new apartment. And once that happens, I'm going to start Twitch streaming. So, go find me on Twitch. I'll start streaming probably in the next, 2 weeks. While I kind of figure out my whole schedule and everything, but I'm not even finished moving into there yet fully. But either way, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. Try to get videos up every Wednesday and Sunday. And if you guys have any opinions on what I've been talking about at all or anything, leave a comment down below. I love reading them all. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. And like always, guys, see you next time.